What's happening, YouTube? Anthony on Power Rangers Lost Galaxy fan film with a brand new Lost Galaxy 2014 review. And at the time of this recording, this was recorded on December 30th or 31st of 2022. Well, at the time this will be out, this will be on the very first day of January of 2023, the upcoming 30th anniversary of Power Rangers. So to kick that off, my review on the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Lost Galaxy Green Ranger from Lightning Collection Wave, 13 now? Yeah, we'll roll with that. So this is one of the, so also be advised, Wave 13 with Lost Galaxy Green alongside Wild Force Blue, Dino Thunder Yellow, and Adam as the Black Mighty Morphin Ranger. This is the final Lightning Collection figure to have this original box art, because once we get the next batch of Lightning Collection figures, especially for Wave 14, which will consist our next Lost Galaxy Ranger alongside Dino Thunder and SPD's Rangers, the last few Rangers, that's basically a part of my wish list for Lightning Collection figures for those. And I figured that once Hasbro heard about me wanting Lost Galaxy Pink, SPD Yellow, and Dino Thunder Black, they must have read my mind. So basically, Damon is the final Lost Galaxy Ranger to have this original box design, where we see what's presented here in this plastic packaged box. So when we get Lost Galaxy Pink of Kendricks and Corone, and then Lost Galaxy Yellow, they will have the package free where they won't show what's inside, but again, this is the last one. Although I did got my Lost Galaxy Green Ranger a week ago earlier on Amazon for $24.99 via my Amazon Prime membership, and got it with free shipping via Prime. And Amazon had this originally up for pre-order up until March the 1st, but they decided to remove the pre-order because it was already out already. So therefore, I kind of semi pre-ordered, but actually really ordered it when it already became available. I'm lucky I finally got Lost Galaxy Green. Plus, this is my very first Green Ranger in the Power Rangers Lightning Collection. I'm going to get SPD Green and Tommy as the original Green Ranger, rest in peace JDF, and more Green Rangers to come. And I know it'll be tough getting the Green Psycho Ranger somewhere. And then the more Green Rangers will come out, even though we did have the Fighting Spirit Mighty Morphin Green Ranger a while ago, and that's also hard to find to get right now. And also the A Squad SPD Green Ranger too as well. So that's, and Zeo Green Adam. So now that we're on to the last Lost Galaxy Ranger with this original box release and box art, let's open up Damon. Because again, I feel like he's perhaps the best of the bunch in terms of how he was presented for the Lightning Collection. So without further ado, go Galactic! Alright guys, now let's take a look at Lost Galaxy Green. Before I get to the figure, I'm going to talk about a few accessories like I do every Lightning Collection figure review I've did so far. Interchangeable hands are different. You got a ball fist, but this time a new hand gesture that Damon would do when he poses, especially when he has his trans dagger, trans blaster basically in hand. So yeah, that's brand new. But the ball fist is a spare, but again, there's not much new about it. It's just all the same like every other Lightning figure with that hand gesture, balled fist, or opened or clenched otherwise. On to the next accessory is the Quasar Saber folded formation. Now, what's so different about the folded formation, you can get a bit of the Condor symbol if the camera can get a good glimpse of it. Yep, you got it. And it's basically the same, and also the gold on here, as opposed to, like, let's look at the Red Ranger and Blue Rangers versions of the folded formations of the Quasar Sabers. Well, I get now it makes sense why they have to do both an open and closed formation for all of them at once, because, well, even though with the exception of the fact that the Lost Galaxy Red Ranger I had from that Psycho Red 2-pack 3 years ago at the time of this now, wow, 3 years, had the folded formation have a silver blade, but all three of these guys, especially when we get Kendricks, Corone, and Maya with their Quasar Sabers and their folded formations, they will all have a gold blade too. And you can individually see their respective Quasar Sabers with the folded formations, and they all have the gold blade to them. Okay, so now they match for some reason. And what's different now for the lightning effect piece. The lightning effect piece is, I think this is a brand new piece I didn't have before, but no, this is the same one because, again, look at the plugs. There was a lightning effect piece for a Ranger I had, and it's basically the same as that. But nothing new with this piece. I've seen this piece a handful of times now. But although you can plug the, be careful plugging up the ports of the lightning piece onto the trans dagger, and that's how this effect piece looks with the trans dagger onto the trans dagger itself. Damon's trans dagger formation is the trans blaster. The other Rangers also have done this on occasion a handful of times, but it really fits more with the Green Ranger since he has the Condor Galactic beast, so it makes sense to make the trans dagger emulate which, you know, Galactic Beast the Rangers are emulating based even on what their helmets represent and everything else. So we got the Trans Blaster. And what's so funny about this now is that when we get pink and yellow last to go for Lost Galaxy, they're, you know, blue, green, yellow, and pink are going to be the only Lost Galaxy Rangers to have trans daggers, while poor Leo, unfortunately, with this Wave 8 Lost Galaxy Red, he did not come with a trans dagger. Instead, you know, that being the Magna Talent. Instead, he was given the Quasar launcher. And I don't get it. Even though I'm still using the Quasar Saber that was from his 2-pack release from 3-4 years ago, but I don't know why is it that Leo isn't having all his accessories, all his stuff together. Like, come on, man. You can get I mean, Hasbro got everybody for Lost Galaxy right so far. But Leo, he had to be released twice. The only way you could get his Quasar Saber, again, the Psycho Red, Lost Galaxy Red Versus pack. If you want to get the Quasar launcher, you know, that Wave 8 Lightning Collection Lost Galaxy Red. And also with the new Leo head, because that first head, like I said, looked pretty dull. Quasar Saber for Damon. It has the Condor Galactic Beast, and like Leo's Quasar Saber, it has that same hue as Red. Let's take a look at Leo and Damon as a comparison. They both got the same hue of gold on their respective Quasar Sabers. Although Leo's Saber with the gold looks pretty faint, Damon's has a more clear premium gold even on the tip, and they both got the tip. Although, like, you know, Kai's Quasar Saber, Damon's saber is missing some black paint on this piece here, if you look at it. But again, they both have that exact shade of gold. But Kai, when we got Kai's figure, and with his Quasar Saber, his gold on the saber is brighter than the rest. Yeah, just wait until when we get Kendrix, Maya, and Corone. And I bet you when we get their figures and their respective Quasar Sabers, they'll have the proper shade of gold as opposed to what Kai has, because it just feels very inconsistent, to say the least. Last but not least, Damon's head sculpt. I joked about this on Instagram that while it does look like Reggie as Damon, Reggie Roll, his actor from the show, they did capture his bare naked bald head accurate. And also that ear piercing he has in the series, if you can faintly look at it, I swear he had it on this ear or this ear. No, well, it's not on there. And again, it does look a lot like him, especially looking how mean and mad he looks. Looking like, I joked about this on Instagram, how this face sculpt of Damon looks more like if Michael Jordan was a Power Ranger. But when really, though, it's really Damon's actor Reggie Roll from the TV series. It's not a bad likeness on Damon. It's just like, man, they made him look all pissed off or something. Like, Jesus Christ. And the thing, this dude is the decoy of the group and the wisecracking smart ass and stuff like that. But yeah, so you got that going. Let's take a look at the Galaxy Rangers, Sans Magna Defender, and how Leo, Damon, and Kai look with their helmets on. I mean, with their heads on. Oh, look, now I got the Galaxy guys all together. If Magna Defender came with Mike's head, although again, Mag the Defender this is basically the OG, but again, Mag the Defender's helmet cannot come off. But if they did a standalone Mike Corbett figure in his Terra Venture uniform with Russell Lawrence likeness on it, then we'll probably get a Mike head that way, probably. And even probably civilian figures for the Galaxy Rangers too, probably with an updated Leo, another updated Leo head, probably recycle the same Kai head and Damon head and all of that in the future. But take a look at the Galaxy Ranger guys, but until we get the girls this year, and when we get Kendrick, Corone, and Maya, then we got everybody for Lost Galaxy. And I'm surprised how far I've come wanting new action figures of Lost Galaxy for so long. And just looking at it, and especially again Damon being now the more recent addition. And in 2022 I did get Damon and Kai this year, and while I got Leo the year earlier and before back in that 2-pack release, but these two specifically, I got both of these in the same year. But though Damon would come very late for me, so therefore I'm happy I got Damon and Leo and Kai together. So finally Lost Galaxy is coming together, because Hasbro made it clear they want to finish up Lost Galaxy before they can do like Lightspeed Rescue and finish up Time Force and Wild Force in terms of post Zordon Rangers. Because basically most of my time of collecting for the Power Rangers Lightning Collection is mostly focused on the post-Zordon side of things. While I am still going to do Mighty Morphin and Zeo in them and do mainly Power Rangers in space, but Lost Galaxy, I am more excited to get more of those figures, even though there's a few QC issues with the team when I get the rest and when Maya, Kendricks, and Corone come out. Even though I'm more excited for Kendricks and Maya together with Kai, Damon, and Leo. Corone, well, to each their own, but even though, again, Kendricks was the OG owner of that suit, if only she didn't freaking die. But again, gotta realize you can't change that in the history of Power Rangers. But that's Leo, Damon, and Kai down, Kendricks, Corone, and Maya to go. Sorry, Mike. Oh yeah, and let's take a little, reference to the fact that, at the same time as these Power Rangers, the Rush Hour movies started, and knowing the fact this and Lightspeed Rescue were out in between Rush Hour 1 and Rush Hour 2, made sense. The Green Ranger being a black dude and the Blue Ranger being Asian. Makes sense, right? And I'm glad that I'd rather have this bros before hoes between Kai and Damon, because after all, their friendship was probably the most, between an Asian dude and a black dude. I mean, if it can work for Jackie and Chris, this can work between Archie and Reggie as Kai and Damon. So yeah, there you go. Okay, now let's take a look at the Green Ranger with his trans dagger and posing, doing one of his most iconic poses when he does his trans blaster formation and when he's about to attack someone. Yep, very show accurate and exactly like even Hayate from Damon's Sentai counterpart would do in Ginga Man. It's very accurate. I like it. And while putting this hand where he has his his fingers out just like this was a bit difficult to put on, and also will take off, because I also noticed, now we'll talk about the articulation points about the Green Galaxy Ranger. But before I do that, I do need to talk about this a little bit more. It's very accurate how his fingers are stuck out just exactly like how he always poses. Because again, he's supposed to emulate his Condor Galactic, just like the other Galaxy Rangers. Just, wait until when Pink and Yellow come out, and then we'll put the team together and do those iconic poses in Lightning Collection toy form. And take a look at the Blue and Green Rangers with the respective trans daggers, especially the Green Rangers. And here's something funny. Everybody got their trans daggers except Leo. Yep, wait until when the girls come. That's real fucked up, isn't it? Isn't it? And lastly, let's take a look at the figure itself and we wrap up for the review. So the Galaxy Green Ranger, in terms of articulation, QC, quality control, and everything else in terms of how he has been painted and sculpted. Obviously, I would say that of all of the Lost Galaxy Rangers that we have so far, until Pink and Yellow come out, Lost Galaxy Green, that being Damon, perhaps looks like the best of the bunch. Even though Mag the Defender being the second best looking Lost Galaxy character figure that we got so far. while I do amend how he looks in terms of like the helmet sculpt and the quality of the green on him, probably the best shade of green I have so far, even though the video is going to pick up on something different with the quality of green as opposed to when not on camera. I do like the way how they painted, you know, the figure in very well. But what I also notice is in terms of how he is put together. I notice how lanky and loose the head joint is on my Galaxy Green. Probably some other people are probably having that issue too with him. But I don't see why is it that as opposed to the other Rangers, Damon, his figure is you know, the most loose in terms of on the head. Everything else is fine. But when it came to his elbow crunches and, you know, knee crunches, they're very stiff, especially when I first got this figure. And when I was trying to bend his left knee, it seemed pretty stiff, and I gotta be careful trying to bend him because otherwise I'm gonna end up breaking him. I don't want to buy another one, like I've said a handful of times. But I can bend his right knee joint, do a knee crunch on this leg, but on his other one, stiff as all heck. And again, I don't want to break it. But then you also have the butterfly joint, like usual, like all the other Lightning Collection figures. And his butterfly joint in terms of his, you know, the crunching down onto his abdomen, just like on the others. So yeah, you got that going. And then let's take a look at how they sculpted the helmet. Now, this is probably a good, more authentic looking Galaxy Green Ranger helmet because this actually looks more like how I would imagine in Lightning Collection style, as opposed to how the Green Ranger always looked in his past action figure forms. And speaking of which, let's do a comparison because I believe I still have a Lost Galaxy Green Ranger figure somewhere in my original batch of Power Ranger toys from Bandai to compare with what Hasbro had put out for him recently. And here's a little blast from the past, a comparison of how far we have come with Lost Galaxy Green in Power Ranger toy history. What we have on the left is the Bandai 1998-99 Lost Galaxy Green Ranger 5.5 inch figure, which used to do some sounds like basically with the voice that was from Carlos, even though I'll delve into that. And then currently 2022-2023 with Lost Galaxy Green from Hasbro's Power Rangers Lightning Collection. That's crazy. Even though the Lost Galaxy Ranger guys, especially, you know, back in the days when Bandai used to do Power Ranger toys, the boys would always get the most toys because the girls don't get squat, which again calls hashtag sexism among Bandai America when Bandai used to have Power. And it's just crazy how far I've come since I was a kid with the original, this Lost Galaxy figure way of doing Power Ranger toys back in the day. This is how they used to do these back in the day. However, I got this as a collectible on Amazon way back in 2011 from a seller that had these toys. And that was up for sale for like $11 or whatever. And originally, now this was making sound earlier and also had a backpack with a sound, but unfortunately this button doesn't make sound anymore because again this was a really old 90s toy. And again, I've come a really long way with these kind of Power Ranger figures, although admittedly I'm not that crazy about Bandai's Power Ranger toys anymore now that we got Hasbro and how far we have come since the days of Power Rangers and their muscular looking, steroided up looking action figures. But again, there's also a whole bunch of other Lost Galaxy Green Ranger figures that Bandai also did, but I don't have those either. I used to have a Lost Galaxy Green Ranger figure back in the day, and but that figure was from that 6-pack of Lost Galaxy Rangers that I was telling you guys about back in my What If I Stopped Watching Power Rangers After Lost Galaxy video on my podcast. And I was mentioning that, and where Damon and Mag the Defender's figures from Bandai from that 6-pack had movable legs, while the others did not, unfortunately. There was also the Jet Jammer release of the Green Ranger with the Lights of Orion pieces to it. I don't have that figure. There's the Green Ranger that had the Armored Key Battleizer from Bandai. Knowing in fact Leo was the only one that had the Battleizer in the show. Then there was the Green Ranger with his Astro Cycle that had these Astro Cycle kind of Battleizer armor pieces to it. Then there's the Green Ranger with the Conquering armor from Bandai, and yeah, that's a long history. But anyway, so this is how far I've come. And I know I wish I did this kind of comparison with Lost Galaxy Blue when I did the Lightning Collection Galaxy Blue Ranger, to compare whatever existing Bandai America Galaxy Blue Ranger figure to compare that with, which being the only one I have so far. Because again, a lot of the old Bandai Power Ranger figures to compare are very scarce nowadays. So good thing I still had this just to compare, because I thought about this at the time I was filming this portion of my review. And I know it's going on a little long, so just wrap things up. In conclusion, as a lifelong Power Rangers Lost Galaxy fan, I'm happy with the Galaxy Green Ranger figure. The only takeaway though, the linky loose head on the head joint on my Galaxy Green Ranger, but the rest of the figure is good, but although the head is a little loose. Now that Lost Galaxy is almost done, because again, Hasbro, please give us Kendrick, Corone, and Maya so we can finally finish this team. And then give us the villains of the season, especially Trakina, because although when I do a review on her figure, because again, for anyone who didn't know, real life wise, Damon and Trakina's actors were together in real life. They had 3 kids together, but they're not together anymore as of 2018. But again, there's that reference for you. But though when I do get Trakina in the Lightning Collection, I don't know if I should do that reference to the fact that these two, Damon and Trakina, their actors were together in real life, but realizing that they were enemies in the show. But although then again, Damon, he had a good figure, although I don't know why my Galaxy Green Ranger got a really lanky head, though I'm still complaining about that a little bit. Then again, he had some good accessories. I do like the head sculpt for Damon. I do like the shade of green on him, even though it's supposed to be the shade of green he always had on the show, but in the camera it's a different story. And yeah, so even though we only got the Galaxy boys for now, wait until we get the Galaxy girls, and then we got all 7 Lost Galaxy Power Rangers. And yeah, but although Lost Galaxy Green, Damon is from Wave 13, so when I get my hands on Wild Force Blue, Dino Thunder Yellow, and Adam is the Black Mighty Morphin Ranger with whatever that thing is that he came with, I was really hoping that Mighty Morphin Black Ranger with Adam should have been a Defender vest from his Operation Overdrive appearance, but I digress. So anyway, guys, that's it for my review on the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Lost Galaxy Green Ranger. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to hit a bell on the notification when I put out a new video. Hit the like button if you like this video. Subscribe and share this video with your friends. And I'll see you guys next time with a new review on this channel. Thanks for watching.